Why do you think you're so controversial?
You know, I'm going to say, I really don't get it. The stuff I work on are things like how bad fine print is and how it is that credit agreements should not be written in languages that ordinary folks can't read and understand, and why it shouldn't take an army of lawyers to be able to interpret a mortgage agreement for you. And I think that's stuff that, you know, Democrats, Republicans, all kinds of folks think are good things for hardworking middle-class Americans. I really don't get the part. What is the one thing I've done that makes me controversial?
All right, well,
I think this is politics.
We're going to go through some of those issues.
Okay.
All right, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, really your brainchild, as the President of the United States himself said. How disappointed are you that he didn't nominate you to head it?
Oh, golly, not at all. What you really have to understand here is my job was to set this agency up, and it was an enormous privilege to be able to do that. One of the people I recruited right from the beginning was Rich Cordry, the former Ohio Attorney General, a guy with an incredibly impressive resume for standing tough and being smart. And this is a new time for the consumer agency. This is the week that it's the one-year anniversary of first coming into existence. This is the week that we pick up a bunch of our new powers. And this is the week that the president makes a nomination for someone to lead this agency going forward. That's a good thing.
Senator Shelby, the Republican senator from Alabama, he issued a statement saying this, and I'll read it to you. He says, until President Obama addresses our concerns by supporting a few reasonable structural changes, we will not confirm anyone to lead it. No accountability, no confirmation. Do you think the president will be ready to make those kinds of changes that Senator Shelby and others are asking that will allow Mr. Cordray to be confirmed?
Let me be really clear. We started this fight 2 years ago, and Senator Shelby and others who were his allies did not want any consumer agency at all. And if it absolutely was the case politically that there had to be one, they wanted some weak agency that couldn't get anything done. We had that fight, and then we had a straight-up vote on it. And in a straight-up vote in the United States Senate just over a year ago, that side lost. The side that carried the day is a good, strong agency. And here we stand a year later with the minority, the side that lost, saying, well, I don't like how that came out, and so I think I have the capacity to stick a stick in the spokes unless the majority will do what the minority wants it to do. You know, that's not how democracy works, and it's not how this agency works.
All right.
He's just wrong.
I take it you don't want any changes, but the U.S. Chamber of Commerce today came out with a tough statement saying unless there are these changes, it's a jobs-killing bureau. An unaccountable agency, it says, with broad enforcement powers could do serious damage to the credit markets at a time when small business lending is still reeling. And they point out that most new jobs are created by small businesses. What do you want to say to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce?
You know, you can keep saying this. They've been saying it. They said it before the last set of votes. They say it now. But let's just look at the reality. What have we started doing? How about our mortgage project? What we've done is we've taken a stack of incomprehensible mortgage forms and we've said we want to get it down to one page, and we put a prototype out there. We've shared it with banks, we've shared it with mortgage brokers, we've shared it with credit unions, we've shared it with consumers. And we have gotten praise back from everyone, from the American Enterprise Institute to the Consumer Federation of America. They said, wow, that really works. You can cut regulatory burdens at the same time that you can increase value for families. That's what we're here doing day by day by day. What these guys want is to rip the arms and the legs off this agency before it can ever get started. That's all this is about. They can say whatever words they want, but I understand what this fight really is.
Well, what they say, they'd like to see it like the SEC, a commission as opposed to an agency, so it wouldn't have the enormous power that it now has.
So it could have trouble in terms of doing investigations. No. When Congress voted for this a year ago, they put enormous restrictions on this agency. Unlike any other federal agency, this is an agency, when we make a rule, we can actually be overruled by other federal agencies that exist nowhere else in government. Unlike other federal banking regulators, we have caps on our funding and can't determine our own funding levels. There are powerful restrictions on what we can do. What these guys want is not accountability. What they want is an agency that simply is too hamstrung to act.
Let's talk about Elizabeth Warren's political future. A lot of people want you to think seriously about running against Scott Brown for the United States Senate from Massachusetts, where you live. Are you giving that serious thought right now?
You know, I have to tell you, I've spent 14 hours a day on the work standing up this agency. It has been all-absorbing. And now is the moment when I'm going to get to step away from that, and I'm going to get to take a little vacation with my grandchildren. We're headed to Legoland. That's my immediate future.
What about after you get some R&R, you enjoy a little relaxation? Would you then seriously consider challenging Senator Brown?
I got to go home to Massachusetts. I got to get back in the house I've lived in for 15 years and settle in, and then I'll think about my future. All
right, we'll stay in close touch and hear what you have to say. Good luck with the next challenge. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.